Joining us now, the head basketball coach at Rice, Ben Braun. Ben, good to have you with us today, my friend.
Great to be here.
The first thing that when I look at your team from when you took over is the progress of this team. And what makes it special, I think people have to understand, is kids bought into the system and they bought in fairly quickly on that. How proud are you of the progress of the school?
Well, I'm extremely proud. If you think about some of the accomplishments our team did, not just on the court but also off the court, we're very proud of that, having won the Scholar Athlete of the Year award now 5 straight years, having the Scholar Athlete in our league, been a Rice basketball player is huge, getting to postseason, which has been just enormous for our program, getting a chance to beat teams that previously we had not beaten, a UTEP, a Houston, sweeping those schools in the same year. That's a big accomplishment. Beating Memphis, where our school had never done that. So it's important. We still play good schools, and for us to be successful, we've got to play a certain way. We've got to play smart. We've got to be an unselfish team, and we were able to get to Texas A&M last year, beat them on the road, which to beat a Big 12 school at the time on the road is huge for our program. So baby steps, but nonetheless, it's a great indication of the kind of kids that we coach and the kind of players in our program.
Well, obviously they had 2 postseason wins, first time in the history of the program, then able to do that. 19 wins, most since 2005. Did they overachieve?
No, I really don't think so. I really thought that there was a number of games. There were a number of games last year that we dropped at the buzzer, and if we had maybe played a little bit better defense or secured a rebound, those type of things, we probably, or made a free throw, we would have been in position to win those games and might have been, eligible for NCAA at large, something in that area. So really, we've taken the approach that we've got to try to win every game we can. We're obviously going to drop a few close games, but we won a number of close games too, and that was something we hadn't done in the previous couple of years. I think to be in a position to win games, we've put ourselves in that position, which is a major step to being competitive, but then winning those games, hitting those big shots, that's huge, and I think we're on our way to do that. And then obviously getting players in that buy into our university, our school, our program, and the challenges that we have that can really demonstrate success on the court and off the court.
One of the things that always stands out is you've got to get guys to improve between years. I look at a player like Julian Avila, who last year at the end of the season seemed to be playing quite well. Is he one of those players that has to kick it up even a little bit?
Absolutely. His improvement during the year was probably as significant as anybody's on our team. He literally held down a starting position by the end of the year, and he's got a tremendous work ethic. He's going to work hard on the court. He's got a tremendous attitude. He's somebody that never seems to get rattled. He's going to play hard. He's going to play for the team. He's an unselfish player, but he's a guy we're going to ask this year to be a little more selfish, just to be a little more aggressive to the basket. He's certainly a capable scorer. We think he can be a very good defensive player, but more than maybe just as important is his ability to affect his team and his teammates. He's a guy that I think the underclassmen are going to look up to. Both he and Tamir really are our most experienced returning players. It's important that those guys give back to our team, not just in their productivity, but in their leadership.
And that kind of focus, I think, on Tamir Jackson. I mean, does he have to kick up his leadership a little more?
Oh, absolutely. He's done such a good job in the spring, summer, and even early fall workouts. He's been the consummate team leader. It's always been about with him this year. It's been about everything, all team related. It hasn't been anything about himself. He's really gotten this team together. He's a guy that's called team meetings before the season's even started. That's unheard of. Usually teams wait till there's a crisis during the year, but he's really been instrumental in doing that. He's been on the coach's page, but he's been an extension. And he's also been a guy that can say, hey, look, I've been through some ups and downs in my career, and here's how you handle adversity. Here's how you don't handle it, but here's how you handle it. And he's been very, I think, helpful to the younger guys in the team because they need that model of somebody that can kind of get them through that progress.
Not that numbers tell you everything about a team, but I look at your numbers, and if I would have to circle one thing, it's a rebounding. Is that something you want to try to improve on from last year?
Well, it's interesting as a coach or as a player, I think you always make up points. Players find a way to make up points, but rebounding's a tough area, and for us to be successful and make up the rebounding margin, we've got to do a better job, and our players have to do a better job of really committing ourselves to the glass, and really it's got to even come from guards. If you think about it, the guards on opposing teams, most guards send one or two guards or get back on defense, so you're not going to have players contesting rebounds. Our guards have to go in there and really help us on the defensive glass. If we can really secure defensive rebounds, not give teams putbacks. That's going to give us more possessions, the ability to have the ball in our hands a little bit more. So rebounding is going to be a big key. I liked our stat last year, leading the league in assists. We want to duplicate that because if you can have a balanced team, an unselfish team, and guys are not afraid to get the ball to open guys, then I think your team has a better chance to win. But rebounding, as you mentioned, is probably the one area we're going to have to really challenge ourselves from day one. It's going to be our challenge for us.
And that has to be something that a player has inside, because you look at a player, for instance, and to throw out an NBA name, Dennis Rodman, not necessarily the most talented guy, but when he was in the NBA, he had more desire than anybody else.
Well, it is a desire. I think you can throw out maybe jumping statistics and speed. Most research will tell you that most rebounds, believe it or not, are grab rim level or below. If that's the case, then really positioning is important. Pete Newell, somebody I really was close to during my coaching career, has always said that your footwork, your positioning. We don't pay enough attention. You play 36 minutes on the court of a 40-minute game without the ball. If that's the case, then how important is footwork? How important is positioning? It better be awfully important. The ball's in your hands 3-4 minutes maximum in a game. So you've got to really put some time into getting your proper footwork, positioning, and playing without the ball. And I think that's going to really help us if we can pay attention to those details.
One final question. Schedule this year. You like your schedule, and how will it prepare you?
Well, I don't like it as much maybe as our fans will like it, and hopefully our players will like it. We play some pretty good teams, and I think we've always done that. We managed to play teams that I think will test us. The non-conference segment for us this year will be crucial to us going into league play. So how are we going to do, for example, when we travel to Temple and play them at their place? They're a postseason team. Fran Dunphy, a future Hall of Fame coach, we're going to play them at their place. We know that'll be a tough game. Playing Rick Barnes' squad over at Texas, we play them annually, and now we play them at their place. Another challenge for us. TCU coming back to play us. We beat them 2 years ago at our place. They're coming back. I know they want revenge. That'll be a good interstate rivalry game for us. We also go down to the ESPN Classic this year in Anaheim. We get a chance to open up with Georgia Tech, beat them, hopefully get a chance to match up with Cal in the second round.
That'd be fun.
That would be interesting. And then at the same time, we have Xavier and Drexel in that tournament. So one of the top tournaments in the country. So our players are going to get tested early in the season. At the same time, it's important that our team just maintains that competitive edge and learns from the non-conference. That's why you play good teams. You want your team to get better, tested, get a true sense of where you really are.
Coach, always a pleasure, my friend.
Great to see you.
Good seeing you.